Hi, I'm Holly Andrews, Integrative Nutrition Health Coach and Executive Wellness Coach. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the kitchen. Today I have a sweet treat for you as we head into summer. It's the last weekend in May, beginning of June, and this is going to be the perfect recipe to keep you cool and balanced. And that is my strawberry matcha protein ice cream. How amazing does that sound? So I've got this recipe packed full of all kinds of goodness to help keep your stress resilience up, keep your cortisol balanced, calming ingredients, full of protein. So it's a wonderful, wonderful recipe that you are really going to enjoy. So let's talk about what's in it. Obviously, we've got some matcha powder in this recipe, and if you remember from roughly about a month ago when I made my matcha chia seed / basil seed pudding, matcha is a wonderful calming ingredient because it is full of L-theanine, which is a naturally occurring amino acid that supports focus and promotes calm. So that is nothing but a win-win for us. We've also got collagen protein powder, collagen peptides in this recipe for a protein source instead of a straight up protein powder. So that collagen is amazing because collagen helps support gut health. It helps keep that gut lining healthy or helps repair a damaged gut lining. So I love collagen. It gives us about 10 grams of protein per scoop, and I've got 2 scoops in this entire recipe. So goodness there. Now you could always use a protein powder instead of the collagen peptides. That is totally your call and totally an option that you can make. But that collagen is going to really help support gut health, which is why I love it so much. Additionally, we've got Greek yogurt. I'm using a whole milk plain Greek yogurt. It's organic, it's grass-fed, like it is probably the best Greek yogurt that you can get. It's plain, so it's not full of any added sugars, but it is giving us some extra protein there in the yogurt. Plus, it's full of live cultures and probiotics, again, helping support our gut health. Gut health is mental health, so goodness there. Finally, we've got seasonal produce in our strawberries. May, June is the perfect time. Strawberries are at their absolute peak. So go on down to your local farmer's market, pick some strawberries, and if all else fails, your grocery store will have them because they are in season. And of course, our strawberries are full of vitamin C, which is an antioxidant and mineral that we all need. And it will promote good gut health in addition to just tasting amazing. And I love the way that the recipe turned out. Like you've got the green from the matcha, but then the strawberries in there almost make it look like red, kind of pinky flecks, I guess, in the recipe. And I'll show you that here in a minute. Hopefully you'll be able to see them. So just all kinds of yummy in this recipe. And we've got a little bit of maple syrup in this recipe for just a touch of sweetness. I will say, like if you like the tartness of Greek yogurt, you don't really need to add any more maple syrup into the recipe. It calls for a tablespoon for the whole container. If you cannot handle the tartness of a Greek yogurt and you need it a little bit more sweet, go ahead and add in another tablespoon of maple syrup or honey to the recipe. In fact, I may throw in just a little bit as an add-in. When I get this mixed up in my creamy, I'm gonna see, but it is kind of tart. I tasted the mixture after I got most of the container filled up. I had a little bit left over. I gave it a taste just to see where we were. This one is a little bit tart. So again, if you like things to be a little bit sweeter and not so tart like a really true frozen Greek yogurt, then go ahead and throw in a half a tablespoon or a tablespoon more of your maple syrup. So let me talk you through how I made the recipe. These Ninja Creamy recipes really couldn't get any easier. And if you don't have a Ninja Creamy, I'm sure that you can take the ingredients and adapt it for whatever machine you have, or maybe just even freeze it for a frozen treat without having to use the creamy. But I love these creamy recipes because they're just so simple to throw together. So you need some sort of blender, and to that blender, you're just gonna add a cup of Greek yogurt, half a cup of almond milk, half a cup of cut up strawberries, a tablespoon of collagen peptides. So in my case, that was 2 scoops of the peptides, the collagen that I was using. You want a teaspoon of matcha powder, a tablespoon or more, as I mentioned, of maple syrup, depending on your tart sweetness tolerance. And then finally, you're gonna use half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You throw that all into a blender, and then once you've blended that all up, then you pour it into your Ninja Creamy container up to the line. And that's it. That's as simple as it gets. Now, when it comes time to actually put it in the Ninja Creamy, you're gonna wanna use the light ice cream function, just because there is not nearly as much fat or sugar as a regular ice cream would normally contain. So make sure you use that light ice cream function. So I'm gonna show you here in a second how it turned out. All right, so here is our strawberry matcha protein ice cream. How pretty is that? I love it. I love the green, I love the strawberry on top, and I'm gonna dig into this in just a second. So a couple of things to note. I did have to spin it twice. On the light ice cream setting, I added about a tablespoon of my almond milk in on the second spin, and then at the end I added a tablespoon of maple syrup, so that makes 2 tablespoons of maple syrup for the whole recipe, and use the mix in function at the end to blend in that extra maple syrup, and it came out beautifully. So I hope you enjoy this recipe. Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't checked out my book, Heal Your Stress from the Inside Out, the link to Amazon is below. Go get yourself a copy. I am still continuing to get really good feedback from the book, and I would love to get your feedback as well. So if you can leave a comment for me, or if you've read the book, drop an Amazon review or a Goodreads review, or both. That would really help me out, and I would appreciate it so much. So until next time, I'm Holly Andrews, and I believe that you can heal your stress from the inside out.